Hey guys, it's Christine, also known as Ivy Winter. Thank you for joining another Disney live stream. Sorry, I'm a minute or two late, just trying to figure out some settings. As always, I always ask you guys, is my audio sound good? Is everything good? Before we continue. It's weird because now YouTube is pushing me and all creators into their beta and the beta dashboard. Part of that has to do with this COPPA thing, which I'm sure some of you have heard about in terms of having to mark content as if it's for kids or not. And so they pushed me into the other live stream dashboard. But if I'm going to be real with you, I hate the other live stream dashboard. And I have all of my settings set up on the old one. So I tried to avoid that. But the reason that they do that is because in that new dashboard is how you can mark things if it's for kids or not for kids. That's a whole other conversation. I have many thoughts about this and I might make a video on it in the future, but that's not what we're talking about today. we're not talking about COPPA. We want to keep it uplifted today, but do keep an eye out because I've been toying with if I want to make a video about it, especially for the Disney community, and so I might do that. But thank you everyone for joining me. It's so funny. I was thinking today, like my last live stream, it was a downpour. And this live stream, it's not a downpour, but it's really cloudy and rainy out. I feel like my luck is just like every time I have a live stream, it rains. I don't know. We're going to see how that keeps going. Maybe I'm just going to have a streak of rainy days. But hopefully it's nice weather by you guys. I'm a little tired, not gonna lie. We had a Friendsgiving at the house yesterday. It was super fun. But oh man, cleaning up after that is terrible. So I'm in my tired voice right now. But yeah, I mean, the two main things I want to talk about today is Disney Plus, obviously, and Rise of the Resistance, obviously, because it's coming out so soon. And then, as always, you know, I love to open it up to just general chatter and questions and all of that. First, I'm going to plug two things really quickly. One is the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord channel, click on the link below. It's great. It's been so fun. You guys are all amazing. We've had such a blast with like conversation there. It's been good. And then the second thing is when I'm in Disney World in 2 weeks? Yeah, just about. A little less than. I'm actually going to be doing a few videos with Pammy Plus Disney. If you don't know her, Pammy does accessibility and Disney for plus size guests, and she's really, really awesome. And so we've been chatting, and you know, I'm going to be doing a video with her about having IBS at Disney, and then she's going to do one on my channel about you know, being at Disney with disability and thinking about accessibility. And I'm really excited to hang out with her and do that in parks. What days will I be in the park? It will be December 4th to 8th, though 4th I won't actually be in the parks. I'm flying in pretty late, so really my park days are the 5th. I'm doing the Halloween party. Nope, Christine, we're past Halloween. Christmas party with Rob and actually with Michael K. I'm really excited to hang out with Michael again. He is such a blast. And the last time we hung out was like, you know, we had like an hour or so to hang, and so to be able to do a whole party with him is going to be so fun. And then I have regular park days Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That is the weekend that Rise of the Resistance opens, and so I definitely want to talk about it a bit. So I'm not going opening day, and because of the lame reason that I have to work, you know, I started a new job in September, and I only get like prorated vacation since I started at the end of the year, so I literally had like 3 days. So I'm saving some days for the holidays, so I decided I'm going to work remotely on Thursday, and then just do the party. And then I'm going to try to get to Rise of the Resistance on Friday. I think it'll be good though, because I feel like seeing what happens on Thursday is going to give me a good heads up for like what I need to plan to do on Friday. I looked at the hours. They've only added like one more hour to Hollywood Studios, so now I think it opens on the 5th at 8 a.m. So they're not doing like the 6 a.m. I guess because it's not a whole land. So they're not doing like those really early morning hours. It seems like the earliest they're going to open is 8 a.m. So I guess I'm going to really see like what does the wait look like first thing in the morning? What does the wait look like at the end of the day? Because it's interesting, Rob went to the opening of Galaxy's Edge in Disney World, and he said that, Smuggler's Run had the longest wait in the morning, but actually really tapered off in the evening. So for the opening day. So I guess we'll see what happens on Thursday, and then I guess that will inform my plan on Friday. I mean, I figured I was going to just wake up really early and go on Friday, but we shall see. I'm a little nervous because I've never gone for opening weekend for anything, I don't think. It just normally never like worked around my schedule to be able to plan a trip around opening of a land or a ride or whatever. So I don't know what to expect. It's definitely going to be an interesting experience. Hello to everyone who's been joining: Queenie, Damien, James, Liz. Thank you so much for joining and saying hello in the chat. Yeah, the morning hours were great while they lasted. I mean, I didn't get to experience them, unfortunately, but they did sound like they were super great. And I don't know. Yeah, I guess they just figure it's one ride. They don't have to do that. I don't know. It's just interesting because I feel like Rise is so much hype behind it. That's the other thing. I really hope that it lives up to the hype, because I've said it in videos before, and I'll say it again, that Smuggler's Run has done well. I think that there are some issues with them not really educating people before they get on the ride of like what the kind of ride is and how much interaction there is and what their role entails. I mean, I've said it that, I've played video games for literal decades and still was not sure what my role was as a pilot, aside from, hey, you're going to be turning left and right. I just think that there needs to be more. And so I think that kind of takes away from Smuggler's Run a little bit, and people have issues with it, or they struggle with it, or they don't do well, and then their experience is like, oh, well, it wasn't fun because I crashed a ship or whatever. Or it wasn't fun because I'm really good at it, but the people I was with, they're terrible. I hear those complaints all the time. Whereas I feel like Rise of the Resistance is a little bit more of a classic Disney, ride. You're going to sit and experience things around you, but like, from everything I've heard, the scale of it, the effects of it, like, people are really hyping this up. And if it is everything that they say that it's gonna be, I think it is going to like far surpass Smuggler's Run as like the ride of Galaxy's Edge, which would be great for people who love Smuggler's Run, because maybe it's gonna be like a Pandora thing where you're just gonna see most people are at like, most people are at Flight of Passage, and like obviously Navi River Journey has a long line, but less of a line. Like, I think that's what you might find between the two rides. Okay, I'm just catching up with some comments. I hope Rise of the Resistance has Kylo in it. Me too. I love him. I know there's a lot of mixed feelings about him, but like, I think he's fantastic. Wait, are they not doing morning hours anymore, says Queenie? No. From what I saw, opening day of Rise, they're just opening at 8 a.m. They extended it 1 extra hour. They're not doing the early morning. I guess, like I said, because it's not a whole land opening. That's my assumption. They probably don't actually foresee like the same sort of crowds, because a lot of people have already seen the land. Damien Does Disney says, I hope they add other missions to Smuggler's Run soon, like they're planning to add new missions to Star Tours. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that would be much more fun. I assume it's just going to be random. It would be cool if you could have like an easier mission and a harder mission, and people could pick almost like a mission space sort of thing where it's like pick your line. Because then I think you'd have a lot of newcomers would do the easy one, have a better time, and then the people who've been riding it a bunch and like want to take on the harder difficulty could hop on that line. That would be really cool. Will Kitchen Master, great little name there, says the fear of breakdowns is real. Test Track is super old and still break down a lot. I'm going in January and keeping a whole day free in case I miss it my first Hollywood Studios day. Yeah, and I think after the whole Hagrid's thing, I think everyone's very wary about like new ride openings, because as much as I hear that ride is phenomenal, and it's unfortunate I'm not going to get to Universal this trip, maybe next trip, we know the problems that they had. It was all over Twitter, and I knew people personally who were running into those issues. So I think people are really aware of this. So that's not a bad idea. And like, agreed. And my weekend is very flexible. So I feel like, if I can't get on it Friday, then Saturday or Sunday, I'm going to do my best to try to ride at least once. Fun Disney fan says the Skyliner helped me get to Hollywood Studios in about 5 minutes from Pop Century. That's awesome. I need to ride the Skyliner. I'm not staying on property this time. I am crashing at Rob's, but we'll find a moment where it makes sense, I think, between parks or whatever, because I want to ride it for sure. I'm really excited about it, but it's good to know that it's like actually a helpful mode of transportation. Pete Booth says, how is that 3-year Disney Plus subscription looking? We're gonna hit on Disney Plus in a second. It's in the back of my head. Someone said, have a solo original trilogy themed mission in Smuggler's Run. I don't know if they'd ever do that because it wouldn't fit the timeline of Galaxy's Edge, right? Like, that would just like be so far out of theming, and you wouldn't have Hondo speaking to you, right? Like, as fun as that would be, and maybe if it could be done for like a special event or something, then I could feel like it would make sense. But I don't think that's something you could have run all the time because theming wise, it doesn't make sense. But I think it's a really cool idea. Damien Does Disney says, I really hope that Rise of the Resistance doesn't have a track record or a reputation like the Indiana Jones, going down multiple times a day. Oh my gosh, every time that I have had to ride, people are forcing me to ride Indiana Jones. No, I'm kidding. Every time I've been on Indiana Jones, except for like the last trip, it's broken down. It's always broken down when I've been in line. Either I've had to come back later or I've just had to wait out 20 minutes. So I totally get it. Dinosaur goes down, but like even that doesn't go down as much as Indy does, which is interesting because it's like the same ride. Not the same ride, but like the same vehicle, the same mechanics. I don't know. I hear it's just people dropping things in the tracks, but what do I know? This has been an awful year for openings between lower attendance and Galaxy's Edge and the endless breakdowns of Hagrid's. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like created this reputation that like, and the Skyliner, right? The Skyliner broke down after like a week after it opened. There's been a bad reputation for new things in theme parks. So, I mean, we'll see. But I'm still really excited. I haven't seen Galaxy's Edge in Disney World yet. My only experience with it is Disneyland. I know that they're pretty much identical, but like, I'm excited to just spend more time in that land altogether. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about Disney Plus. So everything's been better. I've been kind of complaining about some of my issues I've been having on PlayStation. We ran into a little bit yesterday. Like, we threw Home Alone on just to like be in the background while people were here, and in the first like 30 seconds it crashed. Disney Plus crashed, and then I was able to get it going again. But other than that, like, it's been less often. But I'm locked in for 4 years, actually. I did the Verizon free year, and then that goes before the 3-year deal from D23. So I got 4 years of this stuff. So it needs to be, just keep going, Disney. Just keep putting out good TV and all of that, and I'll feel like it's worth it. Because obviously, like, they only have so much of a library. So I just want to see a lot of the new original shows. Let's see. What type of ride is Rise? I'm still confused. Is it trackless or is it Omnimover? They haven't really said. Like, I'm. Let me see if I can find something more recent. But I feel like it's been like really under wraps. Let's see. Ride vehicle details. Of course, there's always like some article that has this stuff. Oh yeah, I think a lot of the reason why there's like a lot of hype too is because they're saying it's over 15 minutes, which is like crazy. Like, that's awesome for Star Wars ride. That's truly awesome. Ride length 15 to 20 minutes. I'm trying to get you more details on the actual, and I'm trying not to spoil myself with anything else at the same time, which is really great. I do know that so here's the thing. This is probably why they're not saying that it's one specific thing. Apparently there are multiple ride systems in the one ride. So in one section, you're going through one type of ride, and then the next section, it's almost like another type of ride. That has been a big thing that they've kind of teased and talked about D23. So I think that they can't just say like, oh, it's trackless or it's this or it's that, because it is multiple things. And that's what's really exciting. Like how I was hearing it's basically almost like your one vehicle turns into almost like 5 different vehicles in terms of like the actual, not like literally, but like how it works. And so that's why it took so long to come out and why they had to push it back, because they had to make sure that the changes are right. And we've seen the ride vehicle. It has 8 people in it, so it's not going to be like huge, like Great Movie Ride or something like that. Let me see. It does use trackless technology, so there you go. So it doesn't have a visible path, but they're saying that because the ride system changes, it's not, you can't like totally compare it to like Ratatouille. So there you go. Let's see. We're talking about Disney Plus. I haven't had a single issue on Disney Plus, but I've only been using my phone. I know people on Roku, no issues. Like that seems to be almost unanimous. And my brother-in-law works for Roku, and he was over yesterday, and I was like, by the way, tell those guys at Roku. But he made a good point where he said, well, that's all we do. You know, he was like, this is what we've been doing for years. Like a PlayStation is also dealing with gaming, is also dealing with web browsing and like, all sorts of things. Whereas like Roku, all they do is handle streaming. So like, yeah, they better get it right, because that's what they do. OCJ says, I had the speed up issue that you had a while back watching Disney Plus on my Xbox. Yeah, I feel like the consoles are really getting hit with a lot of problems. Queenie says, have you tried just watching it via laptop? I know it's not as nice since you can't watch on the couch, but I've been having no problems watching it online via computer. I haven't tried myself. I think a lot of the time that we want to also throw it on the TV is because I'm watching it with my husband, and like gathering on a laptop is kind of difficult. Whereas like obviously we have like a 50-inch TV. Excuse you, FedEx truck, you're being loud. We have a 50-inch TV, and I want to watch The Mandalorian on a 50-inch TV. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But to your point, I should probably try laptop a little bit more. Disney Plus has been working good for me on my computer. Yeah, I'll definitely. That's how I got my profile edited, or actually it was through the app, because I wasn't able to do it on my PlayStation. Like none of the profile photos were loading. So I did it on the app, and then everything loaded, and I changed it there, and then it reflected on my PlayStation. It was so weird. Let's see. Because it sounds like it might just be something that's bad on gaming platforms, because it seems like it's been figured out and fine everywhere else. Yeah, like I said, I think those platforms do too many things, and so they, there definitely needs to be like some, I don't know whose fault it is, right? Like, I don't know, do we blame Xbox and PlayStation? Do we blame Disney? When I'm watching with my boyfriend, we connect the laptop with HDMI, says Catherine. Yeah, we've done that before for things, so that's not a bad idea. We usually have to like bring our ottoman over and then sit the laptop, and then like there's like a whole method, but we could try that. Cameron says, I've had a lot of laptop problems though. Error 83 is all too common. Which error is that? Is that the one where they're just like, this can't be played right now? I get that. Or like accessed right now. I've definitely gotten that one a lot. Let's see. Fun Disney Fan says, the pushback on Disneyland's Rise is the trackless magnets in the concrete floor were out of sync, so they had to rip up the entire concrete floor and reinstall all of the magnets. Well, that'll do it. That'll push back, putting a ride out. But I think in general, like from what I understood, it's just like there's a lot going on in Rise of the Resistance, and they just really wanted to make sure it's all going to go well. And it seems like it's not getting pushed back. Fingers crossed. It'd be so lame if like last minute they were like, by the way, we're going to pull a Mars 220 on you and not going to open until next year. I don't know if you guys heard that news. That broke like right after Rob and I recorded the TTA, so it wasn't on there. But it doesn't surprise me, because didn't the head chef like bounce on the 220, Space 220 restaurant? And then now it's like opening like next year. So let's see. Yeah, okay, so Error 83, Cameron said, is the one where it tells you, like, you can't access whatever title right now. I had that a lot on day one of Disney Plus. Like, it was obnoxious. But it's kind of righted itself a bit, and now I just get some, like, playback issues. Oh, did I just say Mars 220? I fixed it to Space 220. But yes, I was thinking of Mars 2012. God, that restaurant was terrible and wonderful at the same time. It was one in New York that Rob and I always talk about. But there you go. My brain's there. And everyone was joking that they should just call the restaurant Space 2020, because that's when it's coming out now. But yeah, I saw that coming because the chef left to go do something else in like Vegas or something. So like some restaurant in Vegas, and I was like, they're not gonna get like a head chef that quickly. It's not gonna happen. So I think I want to say it's like early next year that it's opening. Catherine says, which I also went to in my childhood and love when you bring it up on the TTA. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad that there's someone else who knows Mars 2112 because that restaurant. So I'm not caught up on the new episodes of things since we were so busy this week on with people here. So please, no spoilers on The Mandalorian, or, well, I guess you can't really spoil the Imagineering story because it's like one of those things where it's like, well, we know everything that's happened. That is after this stream, I'm gonna sit down and watch the Imagineering story and then catch up on The Mandalorian for sure. Though I did hear from my friends last night that it is equally still a short episode. It is killing me. Just give me like one 50-minute long Mandalorian episode. Not all of them need to be long, but like just one. I just want to sit and watch it for like ever. Episode 3 of Imagineering Story is so good, says Cameron. Walt dies in the Imagineering Story, spoiler, in the first episode, actually. Man, really getting interesting there, Disney. No, yeah, I heard this episode's about Hollywood studios, and the reason I know this is because somebody was talking about it on Twitter. Or partly about Hollywood studios. I don't know if they touch on other things, but I'm eager to watch that. I'm excited for whatever episode touches on Animal Kingdom because you guys know how I feel about that park. So I would just love. I don't know. I just want to watch it. I want Joe Rohde. Like I just want all that right now. Bill P says the Donald cartoons are amazing. Which Donald cartoons? Sorry, blanking on which ones you're referring to. I need to watch more of the Mickey shorts. It's so funny because I love those new shorts so much, and there's so many people who hate them so much. There's somebody I follow on Instagram. It's like not even necessarily like I wouldn't say they're like in the Disney community. They're just like a friend who like likes Disney. And she actually put up an Instagram story recently that was like, it was like screenshots from the new shorts, and she was like, this is horrible. It's just Ren and Stimpy. Walt would be so upset right now. And I had to stop myself from sending her the longest message about why they're amazing. And because I was like, I'm not going to convince this person. Like, clearly she hates them, and like, I'm not going to have this like conversation. But I think that it's so much. Look, I get not liking an art style. That's fine. But that doesn't mean that the content isn't good. And I felt that way about animation, about video games, you know. Like sometimes you're like, ooh, I don't know how I feel about the way something looks, but then the actual content's really good. So I don't know. I find those shorts hilarious. Like they make me laugh out loud. All of the references there are character references, park references. Like it's really rewarding for like a really big Disney fan, but also still entertaining if you're not. And like I need to like catch up on some of the newer ones because I think they're fantastic. So that's just me. Let's see. I'm missing some comments here. The Mandalorian gets so good in episode 3. The first 2 are short but slow, yet the new episode kicks everything up to 11. Ooh, good to know. I'm excited to watch that today. Next episode is Animal Kingdom. It's in the sneak peek. Yes, excited. I mean, they only have like, 6 Imagineering episodes. So where are they going to go from there? Are they going to like talk about, I don't know, newer stuff in Disney World and Disneyland? I don't know. The episode is more about the Eisner-Walls era as a whole. Hollywood Studios is definitely part of that, but it's mostly focused on how the duo revived Imagineering. Well, that'll be really interesting. I like that the episodes are just as long as they need to be. We're talking about Mandalorian. Sometimes it feels like episodes are 50 minutes just to be 50 minutes. I mean, I agree. And so I'm not saying, like, let's just pad it. I just want one legit episode that's 50 minutes. Like, come on, the finale. Like, make the finale long. I don't know. I guess I just thought because it's so, like, beautifully shot and has so much money behind it and this and that we were going to see something like a la Game of Thrones and have just, like, really long episodes. And so I guess I just need to, like, you know, kind of fix my expectations moving forward. So you want to be an Imagineer says, I really want Disney Plus to categorize the classic shorts. As it stands, the old shorts sort of clog up the classic Disney section. I agree. Yeah, it'd be better if they were, like, better organized. Bill P says, Donald's and his nephew's playing hockey and Donald with Humphrey Bear. Okay, I will have to look. I feel like the hockey one sounds really familiar. I feel like that's something I've seen before. OCJ says, yeah, that reminds me when I had to convince my friends that Spider-Verse was a good movie. They didn't believe me because it was animated. I think that really hurt that movie, and, like, that movie's phenomenal. Possibly the best Spider-Man movie we've ever had, and that's saying something because I really love Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Like, I love him as Spider-Man, but yeah, I think it super hurt the movie because it is not a kid's movie per se, but people saw it as such, and I think it could have done better in the box office. But it's getting a sequel, so hey. Fun Disney fan says, many of the current Mickey cartoons are based off ideas Walt threw around but never saw the light of day. The animation style is also based off of Ub Iwerk's original Mickey sketches. Yeah, I don't think that, like, saying Walt wouldn't like it, I don't know. So many thoughts there. I also don't think that we should ever look at things as what Walt would have liked, what would Walt do. I'm one of those people who thinks, like, we really need to move on from that. And it's funny and interesting that they said that in the second episode of the Imagineering story. They literally said themselves, like, we got too caught up in the whole what would Walt do idea, and we had to get away from that because it was literally, like, stopping them from being creative. So if the Imagineers believe in it, guys, we got to start following that mindset. Let's see. Damien Dead Disney says, I watched Steamboat Willie in its entirety for the first time, and Mickey was a hot mess near the end using all the animals as instruments. Mickey was, like, kind of terrible back in the day, so the fact that he's still mischievous now in these new shorts actually feels more like the original Mickey to me. Queenie504 says, I watched Xenon yesterday, and boy, did it take me back. I watched... OCJ says, I watched Phantom of the Megaplex last night. It gave me so much enjoyment. It's funny, there's, like, a comedian I like who tweeted out about Disney Plus being just a lot of nostalgia, and then you realize, like, all of these movies that you loved were actually not good movies, like you know, the DComs and stuff, like, not Beauty and the Beast or whatever. So it was, like, an interesting take. That's kind of true. Like, I can't even really deny that. Like, yeah, maybe a lot of this is driven by nostalgia, except for the Mighty Ducks, which, by the way, is still not on there yet until next year. But it put us in the mood to watch it, and I had Peter watch it, and he's only ever seen the second one. He didn't realize he never saw the first one. He thought the second one was the first one. I was like, whoa, I'm about to blow your mind. Gordon Bombay was such a jerk in the first one. Still a great movie. Like, that's one of those movies that you're like, oh, maybe this doesn't hold up. And there's, like, one scene that I'm like, ooh, this is, like, cringy and dumb and very, like, 90s. It's the scene in the beginning where, like, they put there's, like, poop in a purse with the dollar bill, and the guy takes it in the car, and then the guy chases him, and then that whole scene is, like, weirdly all, like, sped up to, like, 5 times the speed. It's terrible. It's, like, really goofy. But then the rest of the movie's great. So, the Mickey shorts are incredible. I agree. They're, like, adult meta humor, and I'm in love with it. Cameron, yeah, I think they're wonderful. Like, when we stay at the parks, and we were staying, like, in, Fort Wilderness, we just had those on constantly. Like, we didn't put on, like, the regular Disney World channel that gives you part times and stuff. We just kept the shorts going constantly, and would sit there in the morning eating breakfast and just giggling like children. It was great. Bilal, I hope I say this right, Bilal Vanderwurst, I hope I said that right. When do you return to Disneyland Paris, and do you think that they will also build the Rise of the Resistance ride in Disneyland Paris in the new Star Wars land, or will it be another ride? Um, Truthfully, I will probably end up going to some of the other international parks before going back to Disneyland Paris, just because if I'm gonna make an international trip like that, I'm probably gonna go somewhere new before I return. But I know there's a lot of new things coming to Disneyland Paris in the next 3 to 5 years. So I feel like that probably would be a return trip after they start opening a lot of the stuff. I also am very interested in the Marvel combination of with that New York hotel. So I would probably want to stay there next time too. But yeah, I feel like it's going to be a couple of years. I'm going to wait until they expand on a lot of things over there. The volume is too low. I can adjust my gain on my microphone, if that will help. Or is this if we're talking about the video right now? Because that's the only way I'm gonna be able to up the volume, to be honest. OCJ says the Mighty Ducks animated series is on there. Yes, I did see that. Yeah, I did notice that the Mighty Ducks was missing. Let's see. That was the first thing I noticed looking at the movies and just scrolling through them. Yeah, so I thought they were on there because they did that thing where they put them on there and then you're like, I'm gonna watch this, and then it's like, psych, you can't watch it. I kind of hate that they did that. I feel like they just shouldn't have them listed if they're not available to watch. I feel like it's a little deceiving. I kind of get why they did it, to be like, hey, but we own these and they're gonna be on here. But you know, when you look at it and you're in a mood to watch a movie and then you find out that you can't, it's kind of a bummer. Let's see. I wonder if Disney Plus means an end to the Disney Movie Club. That is a good question. I forgot Disney Movie Club still exists. That's the truth. I mean, I don't even know if a lot of people realize it exists or how well it does anymore. So that's a really good point. Fun Disney Fan says all the Skyliner gondolas with Mickey and Friends use the current animation style. I know, and people were so mad. Is it bad that I take some joy in people getting really mad about them using the new animation? I mean, same thing with the new ride. And people are boycotting it because it's not the traditional animation. But you know what? Mickey and Friends have looked very different over the years. I feel like everyone has this idea of what they think is real Mickey and Minnie and Friends. And it just depends on when you grew up. Now kids are going to think that this is how they are. And I mean, I don't know. It's weird to me. Let's see. Cameron says, same. On my last trip, me and my guy friend sat in bed at Pop Century with our coffee, laughing our butts off. Love the channel. Keep it up. Thank you, Cameron. Thank you for watching the channel and being here for the live stream. Bilal says, no problem. When I was in the U.S., I had to explain my Dutch name, but I don't blame anyone. I try. People used to butcher my maiden name my entire life. So I really, really try to say names right, but I'm gonna be real with you. That's a tough one for me. Fun Disney Fan says, I'm excited to watch Coco on November 29th. Yes. Oh my gosh, that movie. I watched it on Netflix a few months ago, but it will be nice to have it on there. I'm waiting for them to get all the Marvel movies on there so I can do a full binge. I'm not into this idea of let's watch the Marvel movies in timeline order, because nah, I'd rather just watch them the way that they came out again. So I really want to do that, but I don't want to be hopping around all over the place for the ones that aren't on there, so I'm going to wait till they're all on there. But I do need to do a Star Wars run. It's been a long time since it's been a long time since I watched the prequels. Let's put it that way. Let's see. Karen D says the teeth in the new animation freaked me out. See, I mean, I don't know. I think it's hilarious. I love when there's certain moments where they make the reaction so over the top. I think it's fantastic. Coco's probably my favorite Pixar movie. Sue me. No, Coco's the best Pixar movie, hands down. Sorry, nothing else is better yet than Coco. That's just how I feel. I mean, they've put out some great movies. I'm not discounting any of the other movies, but Coco is the best Pixar movie. I am really excited about that Soul movie though. I saw that teaser, and I haven't like had a Pixar teaser make me that excited in a while, but man, the music and the vibe, I'm very excited to see what that's all about. Just catching up here. Okay, so let's just go on to some general Disney stuff. We're already, oh my gosh, it's already almost 12:40. My streams are usually about an hour, so I'll probably wrap up around 1. But yeah, let's just talk Disney in general. Fun Disney fan says, who has seen Frozen 2 yet? I haven't, and I still stand by my thing that I'm probably gonna wait till it's like out on Disney Plus. The music seems awesome. I don't know. I didn't love the first movie, and I'm not really into the characters the way that some people are. So for me, it's just a wait. There's a few other things I'd rather see in theaters. We'll see. If it's still like hanging around in theaters in like January, then maybe I'll go. But there's other things coming out this holiday season that I'd rather see. Queenie says that she hasn't. OCJ hasn't. Queenie says she's not super interested in Frozen. Yeah, that's me. Karen Z says not yet. Bill P says not yet. So you guys gotta get out there. You gotta go see this movie, I guess. But yeah, I've been inundated by Frozen 2 on Twitter, on Instagram, people playing the Into the Unknown song. I did hear the Brandon Urie version, and man, does that guy have quite the voice. But Fun Disney Fan says I got tickets for tomorrow. Awesome. So definitely let us know what you thought of it. Again, I think I'll get around to it. That's kind of how I feel. I'll get around to it. But I think that's kind of the beauty of Disney is like not everything's going to be for everyone, and that's totally okay. Because they're always putting something else out that's like, okay, I'm into that, you know. Like Star Wars. Oh my gosh, it's so soon. I keep forgetting that like it's coming out in less than a month. Like, because we bought tickets, like, you know, we bought tickets in like, what was it, August or something, or September that they put them out. So I kind of bought tickets and forgot about it, but like, I'm so excited. We're not going Thursday. I was hoping we could do the Thursday night thing. We're going Friday, which is going to be so hard to avoid spoilers for a day. I might have to literally just like get off the internet for a day, I feel like, because I don't trust anybody. That's how I feel, especially for like the wrap up of the trilogy. I don't trust anybody. So we'll see, but I'm really, 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 really excited. I keep remembering, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so excited. Bill P says, what Disney snacks are you looking forward to during your next trip? All the holiday ones, because I haven't been down during the holiday in years. I mean, we did like early January recently, so we caught like the tail end of like holiday decorations and stuff, but most of the festivities were done. I'm excited for like all the treats around Epcot. I'm excited for the treats at the Christmas party. Like, I just want to do all the holiday stuff. Damien Does Disney says, have you got your tickets for Star Wars yet? Yeah, I mean, I had to buy mine like the day that they announced it, because living in like a metropolitan area, I don't know how it works out for some of you guys, but like New York theaters gone. And then I was like, wait, why am I looking in the city? I live in New Jersey now. So we actually bought tickets for a theater that's like a 15-minute drive from us. So yeah, it's intense. OCJ says, I haven't seen any Frozen 2 trailers. My knowledge of the movie is the Minecraft skin pack. Well, there you go. I heard there's the new, the characters are wearing the new costumes in the park, but some people are not feeling Elsa's, I guess. This is just what I've heard through the grapevine. So, not that they're not feeling it in the movie, that they don't like the rendition in the parks. But Cameron says, thoughts on the rise of Skywalker, rumors that it's bad. Some people are reporting that it was poorly received by test audiences. The trailer made me weep, so I can't imagine I'll hate it. Who's some people? I think we're in this kind of dangerous area of there's a lot of people hating on Star Wars for whatever their reasons, and they're reporting things. There are people on YouTube and whatever who are trying to act like they are reporting things out of some sort of actual knowledge that they have, and honestly, there have been things that have been straight up lies. So could that be a possibility? Sure. but I'm taking everything with a grain of salt because I just feel like there are so many people out there who are trying to sabotage it, which is ridiculous to me. It's just a movie franchise. Oh my God. It's just, the whole thing drives me crazy. But I'm still gonna go see it, and then I'm gonna be the judge of if I like it or not. We were talking about Mighty Ducks before, right? And it was funny because I looked through Rotten Tomatoes, and apparently, like, every Mighty Ducks movie has like a 20-something% of Rotten Tomatoes. And I was like, whatever, I love those movies. Clue, one of my favorite movies of all time, has not so great critical ratings. Don't care, I love it. It's one of my favorite movies. I feel like everyone should just take the time to watch a movie because they want to watch it. And if you love it, then you love it. And if other people hate it, that's cool too. But you shouldn't, like, base what you think is going to happen or how you think you're going to feel on what critics say or naysayers say or whatever. Your opinions are your own. My opinions are my own. I'm excited to go see it. That's it. Sorry, that was a rant there, but those are my thoughts. OCJ says test screenings are tests for a reason. You can't really trust reception from them. Absolutely. And they change things all the time from test screenings, right? That's kind of the point. There are movies out there that have been known to have major changes since test screenings. So, Fun Disney Fan says, let's be real, most people just hate Kathleen Kennedy, which is ridiculous. Whatever. Not getting into it. Bill P says, I'm hoping my job does another free Star Wars screening for employees. I used to work at an agency where the guy who owned it was the biggest Star Wars fan I've ever known in my life. He actually lives in Orlando now, and so every time I go, we hang out. He's the one who got me into Club 33 at Epcot, because of course he's a fancy member. And he rented out 34th Street in New York on Thursday night. Like, I can't even imagine how much it must have cost. 2 theaters at 34th Street on that Thursday night for episode 7 and for episode 8. No, he did Rogue One. Yeah, that was great. So it was really fun to sit in a theater with literally all of my coworkers and friends, and we all got +1s. It was awesome. Cameron says, I agree. Have my opening night's ticket, and my plan is to go to Galaxy's Edge right after to celebrate at the Cantina. That sounds awesome. I'm jealous that you could do that. I'm just going to come home and celebrate here, I guess. Hero75 says, with how well Mandalorian is doing on Disney+, how soon until we have a walk-around character or even a Mandalorian store in Galaxy's Edge? More likely to have merch, I think, than a character because, again, he's not in the timeline. Right? Like, he's unless he's gonna be really old in Galaxy's Edge, because he's that. I mean, he's not, I don't know, but we'll see. It would be cool if we had him walking around, but I think we'll definitely see merch. OCJ says, I don't like The Last Jedi because Luke doesn't take down the First Order all alone, and I see the sarcasm in your comment. Yeah. I mean, I totally understand people being a fan of something. Look, do you know who I argue with all the time? Who is one of these people who's like, Disney ruined it? It's terrible. It's garbage. My brother. I can't even have a conversation with him anymore about Star Wars because it's just, he gets so angry. I've never seen someone in my life get so angry about movies. So this hits me on a pretty personal level that I have to, like, deal with it. And then when I tell him, like, it's okay, you don't have to like all the Star Wars movies, oh man, that just gets him more angry. So, Fun Disney Fan says, Cinema Score is a much better score to follow in terms of audience reception. Yeah. And I think also on Rotten Tomatoes, like, they have an audience reception, like, what the audience thought, and that's usually pretty accurate, too. OCJ says, The Last Jedi is probably my 3rd favorite Star Wars movie. Cool. It grows on me the more and more I watch it. I don't really know. I have to, like, really sit down and think about my rankings. I also haven't watched all the films in a long time, so I kind of want to do a stretch of it and then sit down and be like, okay, what is my definitive ranking of all these movies? Queenie504 says, I'd love to have a walk-around character, at least a meet and greet. I mean, you can still meet... Can you meet, like, Darth Vader in Launch Bay or whatever? Because it's, like, a separate area, and so it's okay that he's, like, over there. So, like, assuming Launch Bay hangs around for a bit longer, they could put him there. because I kind of feel like it lives in a space of like no timeline, whereas like Galaxy's Edge is trying to be a specific timeline, you know. That would be really cool though. I think Boba Fett also shows up now in Launch Bay from time to time. So, because I miss him being like a more regular character you can meet. Yeah, Mandalorians, man. Though Boba Fett technically isn't really a Mandalorian, I think. Am I right on that? I think he like has or he like doesn't follow, whatever. It gets real. The Fets. There's a whole other thing going on over there. Anyway, Cameron says, if not our Mandalorian, then maybe a new Mandalorian character for Galaxy's Edge. That blue-haired girl is already a new character. Oh yeah, V. Why not a new Mandalorian warrior that hangs around Black Spire? Sure. I mean, and V came from the book, which I haven't read yet, but like, so that's how they kind of tied that in. So yeah, write in a new character through the cartoons or through another book or whatever. That would be kind of cool. Fun Disney fans says, do we really need to keep Launch Bay though? Let's tear it down and build Cars Land. I mean, no, we don't. Like, I'm fine with it going, but like, what else are they gonna put there? You think they're really gonna tear down the whole building? Maybe. I would love to see Cars Land in Hollywood Studios. Yeah, me too. It would fit in so well. And I think like having Galaxy's Edge and a Cars Land and then keeping everything the way that it is, I think that would be enough to really reinvigorate the park in the way that it needs to be. But there's that rumor of Frozen Land, right? So we'll see. Queenie504 says, I feel so bad. I don't care for Boba. I just want to meet the Mandalorian. Or as my husband calls him, Baba. He's been driving me crazy because he keeps doing it. And I'm like, no, it's Boba, dude. And then I don't know now if he's just doing it on purpose to be funny. I don't know. Hero75 says, or a Mandalorian weapon store in line with the lightsaber workshop. Personally, when I was there, I wanted a blaster, but outside of really fake looking toys, they had none. Yeah, and I think they have to also be really careful with that, right? Like, remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but years ago, they had the guns in the pirate store, and they had to remove them because of a lot of gun violence that was happening. And their answer to that was like, we're not even going to sell fake toy guns. So I think, like, if you're going to buy something like that, it's probably going to be outside Disney, like through some collector's thing. Let's see. OCJ says, people have this romanticized vision of Luke. They remember him like he was in Legends, which isn't canon anymore. In the first 3 movies, he is not an OP Jedi legend. He's just a normal Jedi Knight. True. Yeah, and I think it's totally fine to see a character fall later on and get cynical and have certain feelings about things. Like, who are you to say that Luke would not feel that way? Clearly, it's canon that he does, so... yeah. Queenie504 says, Boba tea. Like, boba tea, yeah. I love boba tea, by the way. I'm always the one who does the yogurt, though, not the tapioca. Fun Disney fan says, isn't Norway already half Frozen Land already? It's a good way of putting it. Right, because you can meet them there, you have the ride. Yeah, I don't know. Again, it's just a rumor. I'd much rather a Cars Land than a Frozen Land, though. But we just talked about how I feel about Frozen, so obviously. Damien Disney says, the last time I was in Galaxy's Edge, the Stormtroopers and Kylo Ren tried to recruit me. It was awesome. So that was one thing I didn't get to experience, was like a lot of walk around characters. But I've seen videos of it. Like, there's this cute video. I was just talking about my old owner of my company who lives there now, and he has like a 4-year-old daughter. And apparently, like, they got there really early, and Ray, like, really took to her and, like, walked her around a little bit, and there's, like, a cute video of that. And, like, so I know these things happen. I just haven't experienced them yet. So I think I need to, like, just spend more time in Galaxy's Edge. Queenie504 says, when it comes to my dislike of The Last Jedi, Luke is, like, the film on top of much larger cup of steamed milk. Well, that's good to know. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know how I felt about The Last Jedi when I came out of the theaters. I was somewhere in the middle. I was like, this scene, amazing, loved it. This scene and this scene, not so much. Didn't like, maybe this line or dialogue or whatever. But then the second time I watched it, I was like, actually, this is like a pretty good movie. So I don't know if I just need to like watch it 10 times and then I'll love it. So I didn't hate it and I didn't love it when I first saw it. And now I'm like, I like it. That's kind of where The Last Jedi stands for me. I like it. Cameron says, I still shed tears over Maelstrom, still seeking the spirit of Norway over here. Yeah, and I remember, oh god, we used to make like fun of this last dude at the end who kind of looked like Jesus. Like when we were kids and we were like, look, it's Jesus of Norway. He's in Maelstrom. Yeah, I miss Maelstrom too. But I do think they did a really good job with like how they overlaid it. Tim Henton says, are you doing the Galaxy's Edge novel for the book club? Reading currently and really enjoying it. Ready for my Disney World trip in March. March is a good time to go. It's not too hot yet, but it's getting warmer. We have a poll going. I should see how we're doing. So the idea is that we're going to announce the book on Tuesday, I think. Or it'll close up on Tuesday, probably announce Wednesday. I will say this, not spoiling anything. It's a pretty close race between two of the books. So anything can happen, really. And that's not to say that, like, all of a sudden, if we don't read the other three books, like, they'll never be read. I mean, this could be, you know, maybe we do the top one for the next book and then the second one for the next book. So we also got some really good suggestions. A couple of people suggested the Defunct Land book, which is funny because I know Kevin. So I'll just be like, hey, Kevin, can you just give me like 10 copies for my book? No, I'm not going to do that. Maybe I will. And so that was good. Creativity Inc. was another one suggested, a written suggestion, which I've been wanting to read it as well. One Little Spark is on here, which I've read, but would definitely put up there. Disney War was suggested, but I will say that I know that it is a very in-depth book and a very long book, and I'm not sure if it fits well for a book club, but it might be a good suggestion for like an add-on read. And another one was suggested that I've been wanting to read called Ink and Paint, The Women of Walt Disney's Animation. Yeah, so people have been submitting good stuff. And I will also like put the list of these somewhere because I think just for people to pick up books on their own, it's good to know what's out there. So let's see. Coolness, what's up? Says, sorry, I'm late for the stream. To put my 2 cents in, I really like The Last Jedi, and I'm so stoked for Rise of the Resistance to open in California. Yeah, I like Last Jedi too. Like I said, I liked it. That's kind of where I stand on that. But Hero75 said, I came late, so you may have talked about it, but have you seen Blog Mickey's photo of car-sized X-Wing drones being tested at Disney? Yes, I have. And my feelings are, it is so cool, but if it's just going to be for like a media event, that's lame. Like, I would hope that they could incorporate it in something that people can regularly see. James Ryan says, did you decide to renew your annual pass? Or are you going trip by trip? 90% sure I'm going to renew it. So I bought my 3-day park ticket for December. And because if you're an out-of-stater, you don't get a fun payment plan like Florida residents do, you lucky ducks. So the way you can make your own payment plan is you can buy a smaller ticket and then when you get there, upgrade it and you just pay the difference. I mean, obviously that's a much bigger lump sum, but that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to go there. And just to know, you have to upgrade, I believe, before your last day on the ticket. You can go to guest services or whatever and get it upgraded. So I think that's the plan, is to get an annual pass because I know I'll be back in April. That is a definite trip that's coming up. I'm not sure on the actual specific dates yet. And then, I don't know. I mean, my ability to work remotely and all of that, I might be down there more next year than I even thought. So I think it'll be worth it. Let's see. Cameron says, I agree. The Elsa figure in the Let It Go scene has very impressive movement. I hope you get a Frozen Land back east. I know I don't want it here. Yeah, I don't want it here either. Let them just have it overseas, right? Aren't they building one in like, is it Hong Kong? One of them's getting a Frozen Land. Just let it stay over there. Magic in Michigan, hi. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining. Cameron says, do you like the new card design for annual pass holders? I don't think that I've seen it. Wait, is it still the yellow one? Mickey on it? Have they changed it? Because that's the only one I've ever had. If it's just the yellow Mickey on it, then I've only ever had that annual pass. Because my first one I got 2016, 17, something like that. I do sometimes miss, like, I guess, well, you can still get paper tickets technically. But I always have all these Magic Bands. I kind of miss the paper tickets. Like, I like them when I go to Disneyland, you know? My coffee's getting cold. Damien, have fun at the parks. It was great chatting with you. Thank you for joining. Karen D says Disneyland Paris is getting a huge Frozen Land. Yeah, I mean, there you go. Let them have it. All right, we're gonna go for another 10 minutes. So hit me with more questions, thoughts, feels, Star Wars, anything, parks. What else is coming up for you? What's happening for the holidays for you guys? We don't have to talk Disney. We can talk who celebrates Thanksgiving. What are you doing? What are you doing for Christmas? Are you still trying to figure out Christmas presents? Are you a last minute Christmas present buyer? I'm not. I'm like crazy. I already bought like half my gifts. I just like to get it done. You know, like I don't want to be thinking about this on like December 22nd. I just like to get it done. Queenie 504 says, I get why, but also like why. Yeah. OCJ says, I'm going to Disney for Thanksgiving. Nice and good luck. It's probably going to be very crowded, but I'm sure it'll be really fun. It might not be crowded on Thanksgiving. I always hear that it's always like the days around, but like the holiday itself, not so much because people are spending time with their family. So, Queenie 504 says, I got presents from my brother and my mom already. Nice, doing it early. Magic in Michigan says, what's the one gift a Disney lover needs? Aside from an annual pass, which would be a very expensive gift. Ooh, that's interesting. Maybe your subscription to Disney Plus. I assume you can gift those, right? Like, can you? I haven't looked into this. But I actually think that'd be a really neat gift for people this year, if possible. Why not? Let's see. Ooh, Tim Henton says, we finished Christmas shopping. You go. It is November 24th and you are done already. That's awesome. I'm still struggling with what to get my mother-in-law. Well, my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, because to be honest, they just buy themselves everything. So it's just like, you buy yourself all the things you want. I don't know what to get you. Jack over at ZSNY just dropped a video on the Frozen Land. Looks fun. Disney is going to love it. I love all your money signs in there. See, I'm trying to catch up here. Oh my gosh, all over the place. I'll be at Disneyland for Thanksgiving. It's going to rain, so I hope the crowds will be manageable. Yeah, people, I mean, especially in California, you guys just like run from the rain. I think it's hilarious. Queenie 504 says, I'm asking for a candle that smells like the beach club because I miss that smell so much. Oh, that's a good gift. I mean, any of the candles are good gifts because scent is one of the strongest connectors to memory, so I think that's always a good one. Fun Disney fan said, what is a random theme park you think Disney should buy? I think Dollywood would be a good compliment to their current parks. Oh my gosh. Ooh, okay, so they built this like weird crazy thing like 15 minutes from us. It's called like the American Dream. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. So it's outside of the Giant Stadium and it's wild. There's like a Nickelodeon theme park in there, but it's in a big building. It's very strange. There's an indoor water park and an indoor like skiing lodge and like all this other weird. It's weird. They've been trying to build this for years, and it would like be built and then it would lose money and lose investors and then it was dormant. There's these crazy buildings that were there and now it finally opens. I kind of want to go check it out and vlog it because it seems so strange and it really is a 15-minute drive from us. So I might do that eventually because so strange. But Disney, buy it. Just buy it, make it better, and then I have a Disney park 15 minutes away from me. That's what I was trying to say there. Let's see. Hero says, I got all my Christmas shopping done on Disney trip in September, so I get to sit back and watch other people panic. That's the way to do it. Cameron says, not going to pretend that AP renewal isn't on my Christmas list. Hey, you got to try, right? Like, you got to put it out there in the universe, and then hopefully it comes back to you. Let's see. Karen D says, I'm going away for Christmas, so I'm going to bring back presents from Disneyland Paris. Nice. Fun Disney Fans is the American Dream Mall. I want to visit a place so bad. I mean, it looks ridiculous, and there's a part of me that doesn't want to visit it at all because it just seems absurd. It seems like an absurd amount of money, like, poured into a place. You guys, I'm serious, Google this. It's the American Dream Mall. You're gonna see, like, Nickelodeon. You're gonna see, like, a legit coaster with loops, but, like, in a building. It looks like it's just sitting in a warehouse. It's so strange. I need to check it out. I think we need a vlog day of that. DuckTales or Chippendale Rescue Rangers? DuckTales. I think it's the better show. I think it holds up a bit better. Disney should buy Six Flags. That would be a fine addition to their collection. I mean, then they would just own all the Six Flags. Like, they would have so many parks. That would be absurd. Tim Henton says the UK has a new theme park coming called something like the London Experience. Really wish it was a Disney park instead. I'll have to look into that. Fun Disney Fan says, please vlog them all if you go. I mean, Peter wants to go too. Like, we're so enamored by how strange of an idea it was and how many years it really, like, I can't tell you how many years that thing has been in construction, and now it's finally open. Well, part of it opens. I think everything opens in like January or February, which is why I haven't gone yet. So yeah, we're gonna check it out, you guys. It's weird. Cameron says, when you said you were moving to New Jersey, I was like, ew, but your Instagram stories have shown me how beautiful it is there. What are some fun things to do or things you like about living there? Oh man, I was like ill too. I mean, I grew up in New York, and when you grow up in New York, you grow up making fun of Jersey. I don't know why, but it's just the thing you do. And I always used to go down to the shore because I have family down there, and so I do like the beach towns. But I didn't really know much else about Jersey and was like, there's nothing there. We live in a really, really cute like town in a cute county. It's really beautiful. Like as I go through the seasons in this neighborhood, I fall in love with it more and more because it's just gorgeous. We have a great town that we're near called Montclair, and we can get over there in just a few minutes. And I like doing that on weekends. There's a lot of stores, like small businesses, a lot of restaurants, bars. There's hiking like 15 minutes away. I think something we want to do now is drive to more places, 40 minutes to an hour out, and go hiking and go check out little towns. Because like when you live in New York, it is so hard to get places by public transportation, or if you have a car, forget it. It's easily an hour just trying to get out of the city. So half the time you're just like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to sit in a car for like 3 hours to get somewhere. And now that we live here, it's like, oh, we can just hop on the highway and get somewhere really cool in like 40 minutes. So yeah, I mean, I still go into the city for work once a week, and I still go in there when I need to like recharge, but we've been really enjoying Jersey. Anyway, Fun Disney Fan says it's by the same people that built the Mall of America that also had a Nickelodeon Universe Park. Oh, that built the American Dream. See, Mall of America, American Dream, makes sense. Still a really silly name for a mall. I'm just saying. Really, the American Dream? That's the American Dream? Roller coasters inside a warehouse and an indoor water park? Okay, I didn't know. Queenie504 says, I'm going to say something a little controversial. If it wasn't for the coasters, Six Flags is bad. I don't think that's controversial at all. I thought that was well known. I haven't been to Great Adventure, which is in Jersey, in years, probably 10 years. And like, yeah, you just go for the coasters because some of those coasters are fantastic, but everything else sucks. It's not clean. The people who work there are like all young teenagers who like hate their jobs. Like everything else about it's just terrible. Let's see. Hero says, is there a type of ride you think Disney World is missing? Personally, I think they need a large wooden roller coaster. Not sure where they would put it, but they need it. Speaking of great Six Flags coasters, we have El Toro, which is a huge wooden coaster, and it is amazing. So I agree. And Coney Island, we have the Cyclone, which is terrifying because it's a very, very old roller coaster, and it was literally built on the beach. So you're just like, when's the day that this whole thing collapses? But I do love wooden coasters, so I agree. Maybe in Animal Kingdom, I feel like if all the parks, that would be the one that maybe you could make that work the best. I don't know. Queenie 504 says, I went to Six Flags once and was so bored. I mean, you just go for the rides. Like, I feel like I go, I know my favorite coasters, I get on them, and then I'm done. Like, that's it for the day, you know? OCJ says, Six Flags are okay. I prefer Cedar Fair parks. I really want to go to Cedar Point. That's not been on my bucket list for years. So, trying to get that in the next year or two. Queenie 504 says, Disney should buy my life. I need money. Disney, please help me. I'm poor. It's great. Richard says, I grew up in Pennsylvania. Trust me, it's not just New Yorkers who make fun of New Jersey. I will tell you that I live in New Jersey. They make fun of Pennsylvania a lot. It's really interesting. Like, New York makes fun of New Jersey. Pennsylvania makes fun of New Jersey. New Jersey, like, really makes fun of Pennsylvania. It's so funny. It's like hilarious. Karen D says, yeah, Paramount pulled out according to Google. I have my doubts it'll happen, but it would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. Tim Henton, my podcast is extremely popular in New Jersey for some reason. I don't know. Maybe we got a lot of time here. I will say, when I clean this house, because it's like literally a daily thing, I always listen to podcasts. So there you go. OCJ says, here in Michigan, I was raised to make fun of people from Ohio. Well, there you go. I think it's like, it's got to be a thing, right? I feel like no matter what state you're from, you're raised to make fun of somebody else. It's just kind of terrible. Fun Disney Fan says, in Miami, they're also planning a bigger version of the American Dream Mall with all the same things but bigger, again by the same company. Yeah, but see, like, it kind of makes more sense to me. Miami, I don't know. It's weird. I get why they did it, though. It's like right after you come out of the city. So it's more that they're trying to get people from New York to there than anything else. But a wooden dragon coaster in Animal Kingdom would be amazing. Yeah, if they ever did that final land that they were supposed to that got nixed, that would be dope. Will Medved says, would you do a Disney cruise? I'm not a cruise kind of guy, but the 3-day cruise was the perfect amount of time. It was pretty expensive, $1,000 a person, but it was definitely a great memory. I've done a cruise before, Holland America, with my grandmother and my mom. Super fun. It was 12 days. I could have been there longer. I actually found out at that time that I love cruises. I could live on a boat and go hop around in different countries forever. So, like, the 12 days was not too long to me at all. I would love to do a Disney cruise. I don't think that 3-day personally is enough. I would want to do 5 or more, and then it gets really expensive. So, I don't know. I need to nudge Kat. I need to nudge Rob's girlfriend because she can get cast member discounts. So they're limited to specific cruises. Like, obviously, it's not just like any cruise you want across the board. But I know Rob did a short one and really, really enjoyed it. So I think we're all trying to figure out, maybe with our friend Laura, how we can get on a cruise. And Peter's open to it. So there's that. Let's see. Cameron says, saw some preview footage of the new Cirque du Soleil show for Disney Springs. Is that type of experience anything you've ever done at Disney, or do you just stick to the parks? I never did the old Cirque du Soleil. I'm excited for the new one. I've done parasailing at Disney before. I've done the dance hall and boardwalk. I don't believe in just sticking to the parks. Obviously, like, when it depends on my length of time down there. If I have more time, I will do things out of the parks. If I feel like it's a short visit, I do focus on the parks. But, like, I did a spa day at the Grand Floridian. That was awesome. Like, I think it's totally worth doing other things. I'm not a golfer, but they have, like, 3 golf courses. Like, that's probably pretty cool, too. So, I'm all for that. I'm all for, like, you can stay on Disney property and still have the Disney experience, but do other things. Let's see. Raised in Phoenix, made fun of me in Mexico. It's totally a thing. Seems a lot of people from Pennsylvania and Jersey love to come to Delaware. Let's see. I would personally like an RMC coaster for Animal Kingdom if they were to make a wooden coaster. Yeah, I think that's the park. It makes sense. Like, I can't. Maybe Magic Kingdom. Karen D says, I think you can enjoy a Disney cruise even if you're not a Disney person, so Peter might be okay. I mean, that was kind of the plan. The agreement is, if you come on this cruise, you don't have to sit and watch the shows with us. You don't have to interact with characters. Like, do your thing, and then let's do the other stuff together. You know, you've got the pool, you've got the restaurants, you've got the spa. Like, there are things that are definitely non-Disney. And then you've got, you know, your excursions and stuff. So I think that when I laid it out to him that way, he was like, ah, okay, cool. So I think it was just a matter of like, you do you, and we want to do the really Disney stuff on the boat, and then, which he's totally, I mean, Peter could have a cocktail in his hand and lay out by a pool for 8 hours and be a happy man. So he does it at his parents' house all the time. So I think it would work out really well. So we're thinking about it. Maybe next year. Karen D says, my friend's husband didn't do anything Disney but still had fun. Good to know. All right, guys, I have a couple more minutes and then I'm going to have to wrap it up. But this has been so fun. So many people like coming and going and so much conversation. Queenie504 says, if you could add a not Black Panther related ride to Animal Kingdom, what would you add? Ooh, you know me very well because that would have been the first thing I went to. I mean, I do still want a land of like mythical animals, so I do think like a dragon coaster, maybe that would be too much like the old Universal coaster, but like, I don't know, or maybe not a dragon coaster, a unicorn coaster. I just want that. I think it's such a neat idea, and you know, Disney's about magic and fantastical things, so I think it would still work. I think Cameron says, I think it's more likely that Disney would build a train-themed coaster that mimics a wooden style for the sake of theming, just to be on the safe side for kid-friendliness. Yeah, I agree. Wrap it up, insert Haunted Mansion mummy. Nice. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. Like, the fact that you guys, and I say this every time, take time out of your weekend to come sit with me and have a chat is amazing. Like, that's amazing. So I appreciate you guys so much. If you want to keep chatting with each other and you're not part of the Discord, seriously, join it. The link is in the description. It's great. You know, pop in as you want to, have conversations as you want to. You've all been so lovely in there. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend. If you are celebrating Thanksgiving, have a great Thanksgiving coming up. Oh my God, my voice, what's happening? This is my cue to leave. And thank you so much for watching and for being here. Bye.